Despacito, cards are flying high. Shuffle up and deal, let the aces lie. Longest running show, yeah, we've seen it all. From the river to the rail, we answer the call.
Hello, A-Team, and welcome back to another episode of the Ante Up Poker Podcast, where every hand is an opportunity, every player is a friend, and every episode is a winning experience. I'm your host, Joe Scales, and as you probably noticed, that intro this week is the same one as last week. That doesn't mean that the voting's done, that everything's in the clear, because it occurred to me as I was putting everything together for this week that I didn't put the full version up on Patreon like I promised. So that's on me, but now it's there. It's available for you all to see, and so go take a listen. And now that it's there, feel free to change your vote if you've already voted. We did have a lot of people that put their thoughts in on which version they like and which one they don't, but feel free to change your thoughts. I'm also working on getting the intro put together with some different video and making sure there's a clean bumper for each segment. My goal is to have all of it put together and fully integrated by next week. So if you have a favorite between the two, let me know. It's pretty close right now, and I really do value that feedback. So let me know. The magazine is out too, and it's a good one. If you'd like an email notification whenever a new issue drops, just send me a note to joe@anteupmagazine.com, and we'll make sure you're on the list. Looking ahead, next week is our Patreon game. It's our mixed game, and it's going to be Raz this month. So that'll be happening on the 22nd, and I'd love to see you guys there. While we're also talking about community, I do want to clear this up because I've had now a few people that have reached out about this. You do not have to be a Patreon member or play in our monthly games to be a part of the Discord. Jump in there, even if you're not playing in our Patreon game. I know we talk a lot about it in that context, but outside of that, we talk hands of the week. We talk stuff from the podcast. We talk magazine. So jump in there. We'd love to celebrate your wins, commiserate over the losses. And honestly, we interact with people more there than probably anywhere else. So join us. Let's talk. That's all I have for now. So let's get on with the show.
Find out what conversations are happening around the poker table with Table Talk.
Elle and I are back around the poker table.
Cheers into the weekend, man.
Yes. Cheers, everybody.
You can see us drink local.
That's what we like to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A lot going on this weekend. A lot has gone on this week. Like, it's been back to back. Like, a lot of good things, you know.
Like, what's today?
Well, it's podcast release day.
I know, but that's how it's felt with so many good things.
Yeah, it was like, it was Monday, and then we turned around and it was Friday.
Mm-hmm.
But so many good things that happened this week.
Yeah, first of all, hello, our magazine's out. And I am beyond proud.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a good one. And I say this every time, but...
Yes, you do. I think I know what you're
It's my favorite one so far. And I know every time we put one out, I'm like, oh, this is my favorite one. And then another one comes out, I'm like, this is so good. It's my favorite one. But no, this one, first of all, Lupe.
Our cover story.
Yeah. What a great interview. Like,
beyond great. It's just packed with genuine details. And that's what I most enjoy about this issue in general coming out, is there's so many new contributors with an awesome perspective or a true perspective on the game and how to prepare yourself for the rest of the year.
Right.
And we're not New Year's resolution people per se,
Right.
but we are goal oriented people. And so I think that's why I'm so proud of this issue. And Lupe, gosh, I mean, just the wealth of information
Yeah.
that she has acquired and built, and the encouragement and the community, all because she was dating a guy that played poker, and they would go to the casino with $100 each, and she would play the blackjack table. And she, as she says, lose all of her money. And then she'd go sit behind her boyfriend while he's playing. And I think a couple months into that, she started criticizing his play.
Right.
Because Lupe's observant and likes to get involved. And he finally just, I think at one point was like, if you're going to tell me what to do, go play your own $100. And she did.
Yeah.
And from that point on, I don't want to say the rest is history, but the right place at the right time with people throughout the last 30 years of poker. And now she's built the Ladies International Poker Series.
Yeah. And she was just so genuine and so upfront about all of the things that it took to get from point A to point B. And it just keeps going.
Right.
Like, she's not done.
No, by any means. And really has so many more visions for mixed games and how to continue to improve the atmosphere at the table for all who play. So we had a long interview with her, and so it might be a little different than other issues people have read. We had lots of commentary back and forth.
Yeah.
So you see a couple pages that are just full of videos. It's because she had a lot to share, and we wanted everybody to hear it.
Yeah,
so.
and it's important information. It's
Yeah.
not. I couldn't find anything where I'm like, oh, we'll just throw that away.
I know.
It was all really good information.
Yeah.
And then we also had a guest article breaking down what it was like.
Ben Minch, we talk about him
play.
all the time. Come
Yeah.
on, he's a Patreon player. He is a consistent Patreon player in all games. I don't think he's missed one.
That's probably
I
true.
really don't think he's missed one. Went to the casino for the first time.
Yeah. Went to the casino in Milwaukee, Potawatomi Casino. And
He asked us, do you think people would want to know? And
Okay.
we said, yeah. And that's a hell yeah. I mean, I can't even remember when I went to the casino for the first time. If I had even been able to read this, I would have been thankful for just the insight.
Right.
What it's really like.
And
I never had the balls to go by myself. I've always been like, can you go to the cage with me?
yeah.
Can you tell me what these colors are?
You sat at your own table though.
Oh, I was adamant about that. I still am. But
Yeah.
I mean, and now I'm
you
better.
sat at your own table. First time ever playing cash.
Across from Berkey.
You gotta play against Berkey.
Yeah, if you guys have heard that before, sorry, that's a repeat, but it's just it's in my mind.
Yeah, and then you kind of touched on it too, like Dustin wrote about the New Year's resolutions for poker players.
Yeah, and he has a lot of really good suggestions. I mean, as I was reading through and proofing that article, I thought to myself, yeah, I'm going to download that app. Didn't even know it was there. Didn't know. I mean, without tracking my pluses and minuses, my wins and losses for the year in an Excel spreadsheet in my budget, you use an app. I was like, I don't need an app for that. And now I'm like, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. And I want to be more intentional about when we're traveling, what I'm going to play, instead of just showing up and being like, sure. So I really found his article to be very encouraging.
Yeah. And if you're even considering taking your game more seriously this year, then I think it's a must read.
Yeah. He mentions coaching. He mentions tracking plays. He mentions hand reviews. He mentions all sorts of things. And by the way, this is not some guy who's just in his basement. Neither one of these guys are just, typing this without the experience. Dustin is down at the Beau Rivage, one of our beautiful favorite properties, playing lots of games, lots of hands, lots of reps this week and killing it.
Yeah.
So we just want to give you a shout out. And I have to go back to Potawatomi because Sobelman's, we're coming back for you. I really hope we can come see you this year. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google. Very close to the Potawatomi Casino is a stand-up crazy local yokel the biggest Bloody Mary I've ever seen in my life.
I never.
It comes
seen
with a whole
anything like it.
chicken.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it in my life. I think that one of the past issues, if you go back and look at
Maybe.
the magazine, I think there is a picture of it. But yeah, the biggest.
I still think about it.
I've never seen anything like that. They brought that out there, and I was like, "What is that?
Yeah.
Why did we order food? Because it's right there."
We don't need a meal. It's in our drink.
Exactly. And then we both fell in love with the article from Jasmine, who wrote about the work-life balance in poker.
Yes. Who's going to be a bi-monthly contributor about balancing your health and wealth from the sub.
Fair, yeah.
Right?
This one was all about the wheel of life, which you've actually taken the quiz for that before.
Yeah, it sounded like you just said the will.
Wheel. It's my Kansas.
It's your Kansas. Just like it's a cooler. Instead of a cooler, it's a cooler.
It's a cooler.
If you're in Kansas. Yes, the wheel
of life.
What do you know about the wheel of life?
Only what you've told me, because I have not taken.
I love this assessment. So
we're gonna take it though.
We are gonna take it, and we're actually going to share our results on YouTube and show you how to take it if you want. So look for that coming out this week, and there is a link in the magazine this month of how to get to your assessment. People hear assessment and they're like, really? What is this going to tell me? Okay. I would say lots of people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s in our age bracket know about taking the INTFJ, what is it? Myers-Briggs.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Myers-Briggs just kind of makes you feel bad about yourself. I don't know. It didn't really give me a lot of insight.
Okay.
It kind of points out like, okay, you're this way because.
I would agree with that. It is very generic. I don't know if it makes you feel bad about yourself.
Maybe I just did.
But it is very generic and doesn't give you a lot of direction.
Or maybe the person.
What do you even do with that?
Oh, exactly. Or maybe the person who gave me the assessment didn't follow it up in a way that I could really understand. How can I apply what I know? All right. The wheel of life is simply to make you stop and consider the different components, pieces, and parts of the pie, kind of like Trivial Pursuit. You've got your purple and your blue and your green and yellow, all those little pieces of pie, right? You collect. They're all about different subjects. So really, it's like looking at your life from a bird's eye view with how satisfied you are. How satisfied are you in your personal relationships? How satisfied are you with your financial situation? How satisfied are you with your physical health? How satisfied are you with enter the thing, right?
Okay.
And what the results are meant to do is have you just reflect on that. So I think the important part is we're doing it together because we have somebody to reflect on it. And when I first did this in 2019, I'd hired a life coach prior to meeting you because my professional life was like upside down from the standpoint I was a teacher. I knew I didn't want to continue teaching, but I didn't know what to do next. And so she said to me, none of this is negative.
Okay.
All of this is meant for you to review. Are you satisfied with the result? And if you're not satisfied with the result, what are you going to do about it?
Okay.
So if I wasn't satisfied with where I was financially, what does it take? It makes you ask more questions. And the example that's in the magazine was an actual professional poker player that took the assessment in January of 25 and then of July of 25, making very small tweaks. Not happy with exercise, they added a 20-minute walk 3 to 4 times a week, or maybe it was daily. And then they were like, yeah, I'm okay with this now. So 6 months later, they took the assessment and that had improved. And so it's all based on how you are viewing things and what you want to do about your situation, not what other people say you should do.
Okay, that makes sense. And I know we said this about, the previous writers, but this isn't just somebody who's pulling this out of a hat either. This is the kind of stuff that Jasmine's going to school for.
Right.
And, she's fought for people in casinos to have the right seats and the right, when you're doing posture, what is that called?
Oh, it's the ergonomics of a poker.
Ergonomics.
It's the ergonomics. It's the lighting. It's the seating. It's opportunities. It's what do poker players and dealers and floors and managers have at their disposal to continue to improve work-life balance.
She's seen this trend, obviously, with especially dealers, because they're doing that same motion over and over and over again, and then they have carpal tunnel, or they have shoulder problems, or elbow problems, or back problems because they're sitting for so long, and trying to make sure that they're improving that. So
I really admire.
She has a passion for that, but she also has a passion for poker, and so we're so lucky. I would put our staff, our writers, I would put them up against anybody. Like, we have such a phenomenal group of people that contribute to this magazine, and
they're everyday people just like you and me, and that's what we appreciate and respect.
And I'm so appreciative of them, and feel so lucky to be able to have them.
Agreed. So what are we trying to say, Joe? Check out the magazine. That's what we're trying to say. Go to www.anteupmagazine.com.
The longest commercial ever.
Go to www.anteupmagazine.com. The top white, what I'm going to call a ribbon, it says magazine. Click on it. The article's there. It's free. Free out there, available to anyone who would like to read. And
then head over to the YouTube page, because we'll be posting the Wheel of Life video over there.
Yes, so. And we're going to share our results. And then we're also going to share our results. It's already on our calendar in July.
Okay.
To continue to do it, and then maybe we'll take it
when
again.
When was the last time you took it? Was it like 6 years ago?
I took my first assessment in 2019, and then I shared it with my work team in 2020. And we actually met at a park, because that's when we weren't allowed in the office.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we met in 2020 or 2021, and we met at a park and all brought our results and talked about it and ate lunch together. It was really neat. It was a really nice time to share and understand where everyone on our team was, so that we could be on the lookout to like how to encourage one another or know what's going on.
Yeah, they have all of those exercises to create bonding experiences with your coworkers. I think that was a great one.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even necessarily intentionally for that matter, but I think that's a great one.
Yeah, and I'm a little nervous because you also have mentioned you have an exercise for me to partake in, which I wasn't really allowed to know what it is.
Speaking of quizzes, yeah.
Here we go.
I have come prepared with. This is it. It's technically not.
Do I need more?
So it's, I wouldn't say the first part of this is really a quiz per se.
Okay.
But it's more like a would you rather.
Well, you are doing a snap call with Elle right now, is what you're doing. And if you don't know what a snap call with Elle is, it's in the mag.
I'm really curious to where your head is with these.
Okay.
A long time ago, we did some quizzes with you on like naming hands and things like this. Completely different. This is more of a mindset thing.
Okay.
So.
I'm ready.
Would you rather?
This is like a middle school game.
Would you rather min cash every single tournament you play, but never win one, or lose 5 tournaments and win one that covers your losses in the first one? So you
definitely
make a
the
little
second.
bit.
Definitely the second. I don't want to be losing all the time.
You're min cashing. You're still winning money. You're just not taking that first place spot.
I'm ready for the first place. I'm at that point in where I've made final tables. Now I want the freaking win.
Okay. So
it's a little different.
The mindset,
you can ask me this next year and it could be different.
Yeah. It's like, is consistency better to be consistently in the money, or chasing those wins?
So I
think
want
to chase those wins.
Maybe, it might be better for my bankroll to have consistency, which I understand. And a lot of people are probably rolling their eyes like, here she goes again. But I have my eyes on the prize when it comes to tournament.
All right. So then would you rather never get bluffed?
Oh gosh, this is extreme.
Or never successfully bluff someone else?
I personally am not going to get bluffed anymore, or I'm not allowed to bluff other people. Those
You
are
would
my
never
options.
successfully pull off a bluff, or you would never get bluffed.
Oh, I don't want to be bluffed. But I
Just
like doing
that
it.
such messes with your ego when you get bluffed. You're like, ah!
It doesn't mess with my ego. It makes me want to continue to do it with other people. So maybe that's what you misinterpret is like, damn it. Well done, but also.
All right. This one's a little bit different. More of a what would you do situation.
Oh, okay.
You sit down at a 1-2 game.
Okay.
Someone welcomes you to the table and immediately asks, so what do you do for a living? Do you tell them that you own a poker media company, try to deflect the question, or just straight up lie?
Well, this has already happened a lot. So trying to, so it's hard because this is just generic. Is it during an Ante Up Poker tour stop, or is it just when we go to?
No, we're just at a random table.
Oh no, I just say I'm a corporate trainer. Because it's not a lie.
That's fair.
I do corporate training.
You just
I just-
deflect it. You just deflect it.
No, I just don't say what I also do.
Yeah.
I'm not lying,
Okay,
but I'm not telling you what I also do either. Now, later on, if you gain some rapport with me,
Yeah.
then I give you my card and I go, I also do this because I've done that.
Yeah, you have. It's just
I
like
also own a poker media company and I'm going to cash out. And I was really good to see it.
So basically, if you took his chips, then
No, it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with you, your character, and my read on you at the table. There have been plenty of people that I've played with that I've not given our card to, or I've not given my card to because I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to continue a conversation. But there are also lots of people that I have played sitting next to, and I go, hey, you seem like somebody who wants to continue to learn and continue to grow in the game. And so do I, regardless of
Right.
how much money we've taken from each other.
So the next one
All right.
is, I know the answer to this kind of because we've talked about this.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Now there's even more pressure.
but this is going back to what you asked prior to this. This is more like if it's an Ante Up tour stop or they know
Yeah.
what you
Okay.
do.
Okay.
How does that affect your session? Do you put more pressure on yourself if they know about your poker background, or do you play differently?
I think I do feel a pressure when I have a patch on.
Okay.
And I do feel pressure when people know that I own a poker media player to have a great session. And when I've had that pressure, I haven't risen to the occasion that I would like. So I'm actually have been working on that mentally going in to say, I'm just like you. I'm just like anybody else. I could have great luck at the table tonight, meaning cards coming to me.
Yeah.
I also know when on a poker tour stop I should play now and when I shouldn't. And I think that's made a big impact on my play. When I'm tired or when I'm celebrating that we made the guarantee and then I sit down and I'm like, yeah, this is going to be awesome. And then I'm like, oh, where goes my money? I mean, that I do think it is more than if people know. It's how I'm approaching the table when people know.
That's fair. Yeah. All right. So, final question. I love this.
Final answer.
I love this question, actually.
I'm a little nervous.
You're winning. You're up for the session.
Okay. Cash.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're tired.
Happens a lot.
But the game is really good. Like, people are spewing tips left and right. There's definitely more money to be made there.
Mm-hmm.
What's more important? Staying because it's a good table and you can make some money. It's just too good to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Or leaving to protect the win and living to fight another day.
Oh no, I'm ordering coffee and game on. And if the coffee's not good, I'm finding a better one or I'm getting a soda and that's probably, again, we all are answering these questions from the lens of where we are seeing.
Mm-hmm.
My bankroll sucks right now. So if I had a great session, I think I would push through.
Okay. Is there a point where you go, okay, that's enough, I need to go?
if I know I'm responsible for something tomorrow morning and I need the rest.
What about a dollar amount? Like let's say you're up $500
Not enough.
and you lose another 100, or you like, but this table's still good. I'm gonna keep going. Or you're like, okay, I lost 100. Things are starting to swing the other direction. I need to walk away.
Depending on what I started out with, you have too many unknown variables in these questions.
It's a 1-2 game. You started with 200.
200?
And now you've got 7.
Staying.
Yeah.
Easy answer.
So
You have more?
no.
Oh.
It's more, that one is more like a discipline question. Like, are you disciplined enough to say?
Are you trying to point out all of the fact that I'm not disciplined?
No.
Oh, okay. This feels like a trap, everyone.
I'm just telling you the things that I was thinking when I was making these questions. Like, I was thinking about it. Like, is this a discipline question where it's discipline versus opportunity, or which one's more important?
Honestly, you're illustrating excellent points. So I appreciate the quiz. And it's making me think. But you also know I'm a pretty reflective person, and we leave a stop or we leave a casino, and I'm like, like, what about this? What about this? What about this? And I think I've done a great job of reflecting where I'm still struggling, and maybe some of you are, and hopefully maybe some of you will take a deep sigh of relief. It's the going to the table with the knowledge that I have. Because sometimes I've walked away from a table 2 or 3 times with the same reflection and gone, why didn't I remind myself before I went in? Or why didn't I check in with myself? Or why didn't I wait?
Right.
So
that is true. We've had the same conversations sometimes.
Yeah.
On the drive home. It's like,
sure, you've had moments too.
Yeah.
So I think all of those are fair questions, and maybe ask me later. They might be different.
we may revisit for sure.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up though. We've got a big weekend this weekend.
Yeah, it's baking weekend.
It is a baking weekend.
All of our children and grandchildren come and bake all day. It's so fun.
It's also big playoff games this week. We're in the divisional round now. So at this point, there's no flukes left, right? Every team that's still standing is good. So there's no easy games at this point. You don't get here by accident. Right?
Absolutely right.
So
my dad would say it's the 6 P's.
Which are?
Pre-planning prevents piss poor performance.
Yeah. It's one of my favorites, actually. But basically, by the end of this weekend, we'll see who's still standing. The conference games will be set then, and then we'll see who's fighting to go to the Super Bowl.
Go Bills.
Exactly. As always.
It's a pleasure being around the table with you.
Likewise.
Now it's time for Call the Floor with Elliott Schechter.
Elliott Schechter joins us each week to say how he would rule in situations that come up in your games. And he's with us again this week. Elliott, how's it going?
Well, I'm doing nicely. How you doing today?
Doing very well. You've got a little bit of different scenery than what we normally have behind you. So
I swapped out the walls for something else. Yeah, I'm in my my work office actually for my day job.
Well, I'm glad you took a few minutes to join us here because we have a Call the Floor sent in by Derek Harding. And Derek is in mid-tournament in a $300 daily. Action is on the river. It's no limit. But he says player A moves all in. Player B quietly stacks chips into the pot. He never verbally says call, but the dealer counts the chips and accepts them as the correct amount. The dealer pushes the chips into the pot, and the hand proceeds. The next card is dealt. It's only after that card hits the board that player A says, I don't think you put in the right amount. The floor is called, and he defers the ruling instead of deciding right then and there how to handle the bet discrepancy, he says, play the hand out, then we'll sort it out if necessary. They play the hand to completion, and player B actually wins the pot. So it didn't matter. He didn't end up having to make a ruling. So the question from Derek is it appropriate for the floor to defer this ruling after the hand until after the hand is played? Because he feels like, shouldn't the pot be made right before you move on?
Those are fair questions. Is it appropriate for the floor to ever defer a ruling, and was it appropriate this time? The answer is yes. I mean, from what I gather, these were the only two players in the pot. So if one person's all in and the other person is called, there's nothing left in the hand that needs to be decided now that can't be decided when all the cards are out. Just wasting time.
Right.
The only mistake here is on the dealer's part, and not because they might have miscounted the chips, but because if it was heads up, why were the chips going into the pot anyway? As long as the players put chips out, all in and call, there's no more action to decide. Either player A is going to win or player B is going to win, or the coin will land on its side and they both win. They'll tie and they can split the pot. In either event, there's no point in putting both persons' chips in the pot, so you can push it back to one of the two persons. So yeah, the floor is appropriate to wait here. I mean, if there were more than these two players in the pot, then yes, this makes a difference, but we don't know that. It's possible that there were more than just players A and B. And if that's the case, then yes, those bets need to be settled now, because obviously player B needs to have the correct call in the pot so that the remaining action with the remaining player or players left will be correct.
Yeah.
And that
Yes.
the main pot would be correct if player A happens to win it. So yes, then it's a whole different kettle of fish. The problem is that we're missing a detail or two in this narrative, and we don't know for sure. So all I can do is present both cases, which hopefully I've done. Yeah. So heads up, yes, you should defer, and not heads up. No, it needs to be correct and corrected now.
Well, for some reason I assumed it was heads up. I thought they had said that it was heads up because of the way it was worded or the way it was ruled. So you're absolutely right. He doesn't say that it's heads up. I just made that assumption. But assuming that it is, how do you even determine how much the original player A put in versus what player B put in? Then do you have to go to the cameras? Because now it's all in the pot. It's all mixed there together. You don't technically know what the original bet was.
One is assuming that if player B is stacking chips and placing them out there and the dealer counts them, that the dealer had counted player A's bet, all in or otherwise. So I mean, we're doing a little bit, if not a lot, of assuming, but we have to. Some procedures got to be followed. Player A's bet would have had to have been counted so that player B could effectively call it. Otherwise, I mean, oh, well, I'll bet this and I'll call that, and it's close enough for government work. No, that's just not the way the game is played and dealt.
Right.
So yeah, one would assume that one or more of these bets was counted. So as that number would have been announced, it's very likely that the dealer and or the players will have remembered exactly what the bet was. And recreating the pot at that point shouldn't be too difficult, especially with only two players' chips in it.
Yeah. And to your point from earlier, I mean, the way typically I see this go is Player A shoves all in. Player B, whether he pushes a stack of chips or whatever, says call. Then they play the hand out. They count player A's chips and they say, we need this much from you.
Mhm. Yeah, and whoever covers and wins, you're moving the chips to one player or the other, and you're not worrying about getting it to the middle to move back to the player. So if this was heads up, I don't know why player B is trying to get the chips to the pot before they push the pot.
Yeah, or like you said, why the dealer's bothering to pull them out into
Exactly.
the pot together, because
Yeah, it makes zero
all that's
sense.
going to do is add more confusion.
Which absolutely explains why the floor held off on trying to make the bets right or count the pot until we decided who won.
Right. I mean, the number of times that the way it's presented, it sounds like it's something unusual, but it really isn't, because usually there's not a ruling on the chips of the pot until after the hand is over anyway. It's
Exactly.
just usually we don't need the floor to do it.
Yep. Yeah, the solution here and the ruling are not unusual. It's the actual procedure that was unusual.
Yeah, so I would say in a lot of cases, there are a lot of points when the floor needs to make a decision before we can move on. But this type of ruling doesn't have to happen until after everything's settled, because there may not even be a reason to make a ruling. And like you said, that it's only going to slow the game down if you're making a ruling that was unnecessary.
Yeah, everybody's on the clock, and especially in daily tournaments, time is precious. No point wasting it if you don't have to.
Right. So, it sounds like they did everything. It sounds like the floor did everything he could to do this correctly. The only thing is the dealer probably shouldn't have pulled everything into the pot. So,
No reason to.
yeah. Derek, I hope that clears things up for you for sure. It is a good discussion. I mean, it is good to think about that a little bit differently, because things happen, especially when we're at a casino. We tend to let our guard down a little bit and not think about things because everything's running smooth. This person knows what they're doing. This person knows what they're doing.
Yes.
When it's a well-run room, I should say, then we don't think about how it's typically done. And in this case, it sounds like that's what happened. Is things typically aren't in a situation where the floor has to make a ruling on this at all. So it seems out of the ordinary. But I hope that clears it up for you, Derek. And if anyone has a call the floor that they would like to know how Elliott would rule, send it to podcast@anteupmagazine.com. Elliott, I appreciate you joining us again, and we'll see you next week.
Looking forward to it, and I'll see you then.
Let's break it down with Hand of the Week.
Welcome to Hand of the Week, where Patrick, our resident fish, and I dive into listener-submitted hands. Each week we tackle everything from questionable bluffs to hero calls and the hands that make you scratch your head. Whether you're looking for strategy tips or you just want to see if you would have played it any better, we've got you covered. I almost couldn't make it through that, Patrick, because the hands that make you scratch your head reminded me of the last Patreon game.
It wasn't a scratch your head moment. It's more of a bang your head against the door moment. It's what we talk about all the time. And for all the novices out there, you definitely understand me. But you get into the flow of games, and online goes, really quick. And it's honestly, I just thinking about it, when we were playing, you just got to open your eyes, because I had you. Well, first off, the betting size was not there, but I flopped top two pair, and there wasn't anything out there that could beat me right out the gate. And then, but the betting size was wrong right off the flop. It wasn't big enough. You
Right.
remember it being close to like not even quarter of the pot. I was giving myself a little
Exactly.
bit of credit. I think it was higher, but it is what it is. It wasn't big enough. Let's just put it that way. And then the turn came, and your straight draw, or excuse me, your straight draw came in. But I never even made you on a flush draw. I just never did. And then I went about half pot, which at that point you're in,
Right.
and we're heads up. And lo and behold, another spade came out on the river.
And you didn't even see it.
Nope. I said, okay, there's no pairs that can beat me. There's no trips that can beat me. And the straight draw missed. I'm golden. And I was this close because my mindset was, I'm going to set him up. He's thinking that he's going to take me down. He's going to have a story, blah, blah, blah. And I got him. So I was this close to checking and letting you bet, which would have worked out in my favor, come to think of it, because you're going to come in hot, clearly.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And I would have hopefully had a light bulb moment like, uh-oh. But no, I didn't.
But you know what? Here's what
right
I
back
think.
in.
If I would have actually bet probably pot or 3/4 pot,
Yep.
and I would have done that simply because I would think you would think that I'm trying to steal it from you.
Yeah.
And
Which may have worked, but
yeah,
either way, it was what'd you end up finishing? Third, you had said?
yeah,
You definitely
yeah.
had a good chunk of my chips to do it. So for everyone out there, my
I did.
apologies. And as we have talked about off camera, I will make every effort to not get frustrated with technology and log into Discord because it's not that hard. So I also waited till the last minute every single week and it didn't give in. So then if anyone has any comments on my play, or at least I can try to, pretend to defend my strategy or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. We all said that it wasn't really fair that we're talking about your play and you're not even there.
Well, I would have had nothing to back myself up on that one, so maybe this week that week was a good one to have me not in there. So
yeah.
I would have had nothing to defend myself on that lack of seeing what was on the board. God love this game.
Maybe we can get you into the Raz game.
I am not against it. I gotta refresh myself, so it might be a Poker Stars for the next week or so to get ready. But we'll see.
All right. Well, this will be the first mixed game that you actually join, I think. So
yeah, I have not joined any of them.
To see you there. That would be awesome. Not because I want your tips, but because I think it would be great for you to join. But this week we are not playing Raz. This week we have a 2-5 Hold'em game that's sent in by Tommy Charles.
All right.
We're 8-handed. He says it's a solid lineup, mostly regulars with a couple new players in from out of town on business. So it sounds like maybe it's in Vegas or a big city anyway.
Yeah.
He says he has about 1,050 in his stack. Under the gun folds. Under the gun +1 opens to $20, and it folds to us on the button. Now, Tommy says, I've played with this player a fair amount. He's solid, straightforward. When he's strong, he usually goes quiet and avoids eye contact. When he's weak or unsure, he tends to talk, little comments, nothing excessive. And it's also important to note that I've never seen him pull a huge bluff for stacks.
Okay.
I feel like that's going to come into play here.
Yep. Little precursor there.
He has about 1,200 in his stack. And we have the ace of spades, queen of spades.
Well, two schools of thought.
Yeah.
Pot control, you call, but you're not thinking that. How big is too big? It's 80, 100.
He bet 20.
Yeah.
So I'd probably go 100. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd probably be on the lower end of that. I'd probably be that 75 or 80. I think that takes care of most. And
yeah, here's the thing. This is a premium hand.
yeah.
It plays well against a typical under the gun +1 opening. He's got in his range things like pocket nines plus, right? Ace jack suited, king queen suited. He could have another ace queen, maybe even offsuit. If they have ace king, we're probably going to hear about it right now.
Yeah.
We have position. If they 4-bet us, it's almost always going to be something the nuts or better than us.
Yeah.
So we can fold. But yeah, I think 100 is a good amount. Tommy just calls though,
Okay.
and the blinds both fold.
All right. Well, got the heads up.
Yeah, that's gonna put $47 in the pot. And the flop is the queen of diamonds, 9 of spades, 6 of spades. Under the gun checks.
I mean, there's obviously better flops for us, but there's not a whole lot. I mean, spade draws there, queens are there.
Pretty darn good.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely at, I'm probably going at least pot size.
Okay. So I want to bet something, but I don't want to bet enough that it's going to make them fold, right?
Fair. Yeah.
If I bet small here, I might be able to get them to raise me even. Bet something like $15, just like absurdly small.
Oh, I like that.
And if they fold to that, they're obviously they're folding to
They
anything.
would fold to
above
anything,
that,
yeah.
too.
They're a lot less likely to fold to 15 than 45, which is what I had in my head.
Yeah, but 15 might also look a little suspicious. 20 would probably be a little less suspicious, but I already said I was putting 15 out there, so that's what I'm going to have to go with.
I'm going to stick to
it. Given that he's a straightforward kind of player, he probably just check calls. So I probably should have gone 20, but all right, 15 is what I'm running with. You're going with, what'd you say, 45?
45.
So kind of in the middle there. Ellen calls. So we've got, $107 in the pot. And the turn is the 3 of clubs. So the board is queen of diamonds, 9 of spades, 6 of spades, 3 of clubs. And the villain checks again.
Well, I'd continue kind of where Tommy was then. Not, full pot, not, too small. I mean, probably you want 107, 75?
That's kind of where I was thinking, is in that 75 range. But before we get too far, what do we put under the gun +1 on? Medium pocket pairs?
Yeah. I mean, the only thought that I had that he could beat us on right now is nines. Is the only thing. I mean, he could.
Pocket nines? Yeah.
Pocket nines. But yeah, I mean, jacks, tens, queen, jack, queen, 10, king, queen, any of those, obviously if it's a spade draw, we've got the ace kicker on that one, so we're good there. So I really think we're, percentage wise well ahead again, unless he's holding 9, pocket nines.
They could have a weaker queen.
Yeah.
What about,
I mean,
what
10,
about jack
if you have 10 jack, okay, oh, there you go. You just beat me to it. You do have an open-ended there. Do you bet higher? I mean, maybe a thought here is, bet a little bit higher and take it down now if need be. I wouldn't be against, going higher than 75, but that's kind of where my first thought was.
Yeah, 75 is kind of where I was. I think with 75, we can get called by weaker queens. This also might be where, if they have a set, they would raise us here on the turn.
Yeah.
We go 75 and we're not bloating the pot, but we're still building a pot. Tommy bets 85. So
Come.
about the same, just a little bit above us. Villain tanks for a very short time and calls. So now we have 277 in the pot, and the river is the 9 of diamonds. So the board pairs, we have Queen of diamonds, 9 of spades, 6 of spades, 3 of clubs, 9 of diamonds. And our villain checks for a third time.
Well, it's less likely they're sitting on, we're holding a queen, so it's very low percentage that they're holding queens, and obviously 4 of a kind doesn't come out very often. So, I mean, I gotta think it's a weak queen or 10 jack. I'm leading in again.
Okay. How much?
Probably pretty close to pot. If I catch a snap call. Now, the only other thought is if we don't go that high and we're going to get raised, where do we want to go with it? So maybe not. I don't know. Either if I think I'm going to get raised, I'm probably going like in that 150 range. If I don't think I'm going to get raised, which in this case I don't personally think we're going to, I would go higher.
What are you trying to target here?
I'm trying to target.
What's your goal in betting pot? What's your goal?
I don't mind them folding right here, right now, making it big enough to where they're going to fold.
But if they don't fold, do you feel comfortable? If you bet that much, what I'm getting at is I feel like if you bet that much, you're only going to get called by a hand that beats you. So I feel like you should bet less. And I'm thinking I want to just check back and be happy with the pot as it is. If they call us, we're almost never good. If they raise, then we're really in bad shape. So I think I just take the free showdown. We still beat total air, which he could have here. And occasionally, some weirdly played over pair could come into play here. I think it's a good check back spot against a straightforward player, right?
Yeah. I think the straightforward player is probably a good call. I mean, think about it that way. I mean, you're not, if you bet small enough to where you get a raise, then that straightforward player is probably not bluffing. So you probably lost.
Yeah. So Tommy says after about 20 seconds, I bet $150 into 277.
277.
Okay.
Yeah.
The villain immediately looks at my stack, then at me, and says calmly, "If you've got it, you got it." Then he shoves all in for roughly $950. He says this is the first time all night he's spoken during a hand. While saying it, he's staring directly at me, something I've never seen him do before. I'm sitting with top pair, top kicker on a paired board. Missed flush draws are out there, but this player almost never overbluffs, especially for this size. I have a lot of thoughts, but I'm going to let you go first.
I mean, I'm taking what Tommy told us about the fact that, the talking, if you have it, you have it. What is that supposed to mean? There's nothing on there to have it. I feel like I hear that most of the time when there's some kind of draw out there, like a
Right.
I'm calling.
Yeah. So I think this is, I probably wouldn't snap call, but I feel like this is my first thought is snap call, and I'm definitely calling. It's the first time all night during a hand he spoke. Screams weak, right?
Yeah.
If you've got it, you got it. Screams weak. Staring directly at us. When he said that usually when he's strong, he avoids eye contact. So again, screams weak. The only part of this that is a red flag is that Tommy said he doesn't bluff for stacks.
Yeah.
That's the scary part. But I feel like I still have to call here, though.
Yeah.
Just won't respect myself otherwise.
No, you can't look yourself in the morning tomorrow. I'm feeling good about this one.
I also don't feel like he's checking the nuts or a huge hand on the river because we could have checked back. So
Yeah.
that makes it feel like a bluff here too.
I get the check on the flop, maybe even on the turn, but not the river.
Yeah, because if he calls every bet, then he has to anticipate that a lot of times a check is coming behind. So you're not checking with the intention of shoving with a huge hand.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're both calling here. Tommy says after tanking for about what feels like 20 minutes, but is probably only a little over a minute, I am replaying every live tell and every street in my head. I fold ace queen of spades face up.
Oh, man.
He says, villain doesn't say a word. He pauses for half a second, then slowly turns over the jack of spades, 10 of spades for the missed flush draw and gut shot. A couple players at the table groan. One guy mutters, that's sick. Villain just shrugs and says, didn't think you had a 9. So, the questions he asks, is this a disciplined fold at 2-5, or am I overvaluing a live read and finding a fold that's too tight? A bonus question, should the river bet size have been different to avoid facing a shove? Love the show and appreciate everything you do for the everyday poker player. All right. So, can I go first here?
Absolutely. Oh,
Bottom
Tommy.
line, trust your reads. His baseline, strong equals quiet, no eye contact, weak or unsure, talks little comments. This is the first time he's talked all night during the hand. Pattern blown, right?
Yeah.
If you've got it, you've got it. We both picked up that's a weird thing to say there, right? He delivers it calmly while, another thing here, staring directly at us, something he hasn't seen before. It's not a value speech from a straightforward player. I feel like the monster hands would have snap call or raise, or silently, quietly, not saying a word, tank and for some Hollywood and then raise. I feel like he knew he was beaten. The only way he was going to win was to do it. You know, there's a player out there, Will Kassouf. He could say this identical line. He could talk and everything, and it be for value. But he's, for lack of a better word, he's a chronic talker. Like, he talks all the time. Our villain is not that. It's not that. It's not so much about the fact that he said words. It's the fact that it's a break from the norm.
Yeah.
So trust that. He's not trying to like reverse engineer some kind of tell. He's giving a tell.
Absolutely. I don't think it's an undisciplined fold necessarily, but to trust your reads. I mean, you and I had no background other than what you gave us, Tommy, and we use it not sitting at the table, mind you. You know, we're sitting in the studio. I mean, it's
Right.
different.
It is a little bit different. Yeah.
But we just that's a perfect example of trusting your tells on your guys that you're sitting there playing with, because we use what you told us, and you know, outside looking in, we're able to use that. Hey, Joe, or the bet size on the river, I don't know that.
Yeah, I think that he's absolutely right. A smaller bet, or as we did, check back, avoids the jam entirely.
Yeah. The check back for sure. I don't know that any
If he bets 80 to 100, do you think he's shoving 900 or 1,000 into the pot?
Probably not. I think anything from 150 and above, you're going to catch a shove there, which means I would have. Oops. But that's a perfect example. If you want to bet, maybe make it a little bit on the smaller side. I think anything 100 or less, you probably just, catch a fold or just a call.
Well,
maybe a
to that
raise.
point-
He was ready to shove, maybe a raise, but not a shove.
To that point, though, you would have made more money than me because
He would have folded.
you were willing to make that call if he shoves.
Yeah.
I'm checking back, and so all I get is the 277 that was in the pot. So, in hindsight, you would have made more money, but from a safety standpoint, I think 99 times out of 100, I'm checking there.
Yeah. Is there any? I don't think I think I know this answer already, but you just put it out there. Is there any bet size that? I mean, if he's willing to shove at 150, he's willing to shove at 250, 350. Any bet into that 277 pot's probably going to catch a shove. If he was willing to do it at 150, right?
Probably. I mean, I was thinking maybe 80 would have kept him from doing it.
Yeah, I think
know.
you're right on the low end. I think on 80 to 100, you probably either, catch a call, to see it, or maybe just a raise, but not a shove. But I think anything 100 or above, if he was willing to.
I mean, like, you're not putting in 125 and him not shoving because
Right.
he did it at 150. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think anything above 100, probably ballpark, you're catching the shove there. So
yeah. I love this one. This is a good one. I love ones that you have to trust your reads, and that's a hard thing to do when somebody's putting that much pressure on you.
Yeah.
But that's what a big part of this game is trusting your reads, and that's what would win you the most money here for sure. Tommy, I really appreciate you sending that in. Love this one. If you have a hand of the week that you would like to know how Patrick and I would play it, send it to podcast@anteupmagazine.com. Patrick, we'll see you next week.
Sounds like a plan.
It's time for Joe's One Outer.
This week, our hand of the week came down to trusting our reads. And I want to explore that a little further because trusting your read is probably one of the most misunderstood skills in poker. And I don't mean the Hollywood version of a read, not the sunglasses and hoodie, stare a hole through someone kind of read. I'm talking about the real ones, the earned ones. I really don't think most of us miss reads at the poker table. We see them, we just don't trust them. I'm sure you've probably had one of those moments where the hand is playing out and something feels off. The bet size doesn't make sense. The timing is weird. The story they're telling just doesn't line up. And your brain immediately says, that doesn't feel right. But then you start negotiating with yourself. Well, maybe they're tired. Maybe they decided to finally get creative. Or what if I'm wrong and I just look dumb? That's where the money gets lost. Because a read isn't just one big flashing sign, right? It's a pile of little things your brain has been collecting all session long. The way someone stacked their chips, the way they acted in a similar spot earlier, the speed of their bet, the fact that they suddenly stopped talking or suddenly started talking. Your gut isn't guessing at that point, it's remembering. So then what? What do? Do we call anyway? Do we fold face up like the guy in Hand of the Week, hoping that they will show us what they had anyway? Then in the end, the cards flip over and we say 3 most expensive words in poker. I knew it. Now, one important distinction I want to make here is that trusting your read doesn't mean you're always right. Poker just doesn't work that way. You can make the right decision and you can still lose. So folding a winner doesn't mean the read was bad. It means the game just did what the game does sometimes. But consistently ignoring good reads, that's how you bleed chips without even realizing it. And life can work the same way. Most bad situations don't come out of nowhere. There's usually a moment early on where something feels off. A conversation doesn't sit right. A deal looks great on paper, but makes your stomach tighten a little. A situation where you catch yourself saying, I'm probably overthinking this. That's life's version of talking yourself out of a fold. And just like poker, it's not about being paranoid or dramatic. It's about trusting the information you've already picked up, even if you can't explain it perfectly yet. Sometimes the strongest play you can make is stepping away. Sometimes the smartest move is folding something that looks good. And sometimes trusting yourself is actually harder than trusting anyone else at the table. But if you've paid attention and the story doesn't add up, and if that quiet little voice keeps tapping you on the shoulder saying, hey, trust the read. Because the biggest losses usually don't come from being wrong. They come from knowing better and not listening. That's today's One Outer, and that's today's show. I'll see you next week, A-Team. And until then, I'll see you at the tables.
The Ante Up Podcast is a production of AnteUpMagazine.com. Contact the show at podcasts@AnteUpMagazine.com or call the show at 540-339-7741. If you'd like to advertise, send an email to editor@AnteUpMagazine.com.